Hello and welcome back to the Drowned Earth YouTube channel. My name's James, the creator and lead designer of the Drowned Earth, and this is the second in a series of tutorial videos created to explain the basics of the game rules and to get you up and running as quickly as possible. Don't forget that you can download the beta rules completely free on www.thedrownedearth.com, and I'd just like everybody to know that even after the Kickstarter we will always provide a free PDF of the rules on our website. If you like what you see and are interested in the game, then please do hit the subscribe button below and check out our links in the description. In particular, if you think you might like to be a beta tester, then get in touch with us on Facebook, or you can do it here if you don't have a Facebook account. We'd love to hear from you. So in this second video we're going to look at the rest of the profile card. Over here we have some attributes. Attributes are very important, and then there are two tables on the right which we will talk about. So let's start with attributes. Typically when you want to do something in the Drowned Earth and you have to make a test, the kind of test you will be taking is an attribute test. So for example, the first icon, the fist, is close combat. So if you're making a close combat test, you will use the close combat attribute, and you will be looking on a 10-sided die for 6 or less. So you're looking for your attribute number or less on a 10-sided die when you're making an attribute test. So this first one is close combat. The second one, the guy climbing up a cliff, is agility, and agility is used for dynamic movement. So dynamic movement is an important concept in the Drowned Earth, which we'll go into later, but the Drowned Earth has very free movement. You can run up walls, you can climb, you can leap off things, you can jump from bridge to bridge, etc. So Nyx is particularly agile. She's looking for a 7 or less. And I'll also just briefly mention that agility is also the attribute that you use when you are trying to dodge. So if somebody's shooting at you and you want to try and dodge the bullet, go to ground, then you will be using the attribute, agility attribute. Next one down, probably not that difficult to guess. The target reticule is marksmanship, and that is for ranged combat. The next one down is intelligence. Intelligence is used for a number of things. It's used for specific skill tests where you, for example, you can take a command test and that will be on intelligence, and sometimes you will be called on to make an intelligence test during a specific scenario, and you can find out about that in the scenario rules. The last attribute is toughness. And toughness is rolled after damage has been inflicted in order to negate that damage and prevent yourself from taking wounds. So let's have a brief look at the skills table. In this case you'll see that Nyx has 3 skills, and one of them isn't described. It says see the skills chapter in the main rulebook. That's because command is quite a long skill and it would be too lengthy to print out here. I realise that sounds strange. You're looking at this full screen, but in actual fact, you know, these cards are just going to be, you know, normal playing card size. There'll be a double spread. It'll have a fold in the middle, but this would be tiny writing. Slight digression there. So I'm not going to go into what the specific skills do. Obviously every character's skills are different. Many of them share skills with each other, but as I say, there's no point in me going into these now. Just know that Nyx has 3 skills. Not every model will have 3 skills, some will have less. Typically though, characters have 3 skills. Some of the skills are specific to the class role. So the command skill is specific to the leader role. Only leaders have command. And you can find out more about skills in the skills chapter of the rulebook. Next up we have a summary of Nyx's equipment. So she has, which is typical for every model, she has a ranged and a close combat weapon, and then additional equipment including armor is listed below. Armor, in this case she has armor 1. Armor is added to your toughness. So Nyx wears a little bit of armor, not too much. Armor 1, which means that she is effectively toughness 4. Now let's have a look at the weapons. So we have range, damage, and then any special rules. So you'll have to look up the special rules in the rulebook. They're all laid out in a table, and they do various things. They might increase the damage, they might negate armor. So for example, the handpick has pierce, which actually reduces the toughness of the model that it's attacking. Then the range, obviously, close combat weapons don't have a range. The range is you have to be in base to base. But we have a pass and a nailed it range. And if you remember from the previous video when we talked about speed, passed and nailed it, this whether your range is 12 or 18 depends on how well you rolled, whether you just rolled a pass to hit or whether you nailed it. And if you nail it, you can shoot that much further. Thanks so much for watching. Please do help us reach more people by liking, sharing and subscribing. Keep up to date with all the news about our Kickstarter by joining the mailing list, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks.